On May 17th, 2009, Minecraft was first released. I was 5 years old at the time, and therefore it was only a few years later that I played it for the first time in my life. Although I don't remember the exact year, it was either 2011 or 2012 when my brother introduced me to it, and soon after, we were taking turns playing it on our family's computer. I was 7 or 8 when I started playing. I was a scared little girl who couldn't even sleep without a night lamp, so obviously, when I saw that there was an option to play on peaceful, I checked it. Although Minecraft is for most people getting rich super fast, beating the game within the first 50 in game days, and getting overpowered gear, what I always saw in the game was relaxation and, in a way, also an escapism of the real world. But as I've grown older, my view on the game has changed. Even though I still enjoy the peaceful gaming hours, I've started to wonder what it would feel like to actually beat the game. So every time I came back, I created a new world that was titled as Beating the Dragon. But playing with monsters turned out to be harder than expected. Casually exploring caves turned into getting a heart attack every time I saw a zombie coming towards my way. And with my heart racing, panic set in. Panic of having no clue what to do and how to get out of the situation safely. So in the heat of the moment, I did the only thing that I was familiar with, which was setting the game mode back to peaceful. So I got stuck in this cycle of creating worlds and then abandoning them until I got the idea of recording myself and uploading it on YouTube. And after 11 episodes, I can finally say I did it. Like every other time I've created a new world, I spawned in and looked around. It wasn't any different from all the other times I had spawned into a new Minecraft world in which I told myself I would complete the game, but never did. However, there was a small difference that actually turned out to be so important. I had a good feeling about it, about everything, even the seed. Although the seed didn't look to be promising at first, I still had a feeling that this would be the world that I would grow to love. It felt like I had finally found my forever world. So I started out with the necessities. I punched some wood, crafted a crafting table, and made myself my first set of wooden tools. Even though I usually only go for the pickaxe, it felt like the right thing to do to go for a full set. Right after, I went on a little exploration in hopes of finding some sheep. Finding sheep is always my top 1 priority in any new Minecraft world on day 1. As you might have gathered from the intro, I'm not the biggest fan of monsters. On the way, I upgraded to stone tools and also gathered some coal and even a little bit of exposed iron. Then the sun was setting and I was already scared I would have to spend all night outside when I finally sighted the first sheep. I asked them very nicely if they would give me some of their wool, and without any problem, they handed it over to me. Just kidding. I obviously had to kill them, which always hurts my heart a little bit, as I'm a vegetarian, and somehow even Minecraft animals make me feel bad for them. But I kind of had no other choice, so here we are. The next day, I spotted a taiga biome, and immediately had it that way, as taiga is one of my favorite biomes. There, I found some sweet berries, which were my first source of food. I struggled a bit while eating them as I kept accidentally placing them on the ground again. But with my health bar restoring, I stumbled upon this big hole in the ground that kind of stunned me.
Holy sh!
There was just something to it, so I went on and discovered it further. And it was actually perfect for me, as the hole offered a lot of exposed iron, so that I could gather 20 plus pieces after only a few minutes of mining. And since I enjoyed this hole so much, I decided to build my base in there. I had seen some people build into walls in the mountains before, and I thought I could do the same thing here. I went for a heart-shaped look that I outlined with the geode blocks that I found in the ravine as well. And while I was gathering the dye, I needed for the windows, I stumbled upon my first village. That I robbed completely, of course. Now I could finally have some food that didn't constantly try to kill me. Next to the village was also a ruined portal that had 2 lodestones in it. Now having a cute starter base and full iron armor, I felt pretty good for the beginning. After I had some basic shelter and an already okay armor, it was time for me to overcome some of my fears. My biggest fear are mobs, which is why I always sleep through the night if I can, why I hate caving, and of course why I used to play on peaceful for so long. But now I thought I could take this on step by step. Close to the geode, I saw some mossy cobblestone peeking through, which seemed to me a lot like there would be a dungeon. So I took it on me to explore it, knowing I would have to face my fear. I broke the mossy cobblestone, and behind I discovered a zombie spawner. I immediately lit the spawner up, maybe with a bit too many torches, but you can never be careful enough. And with that, my spawner experience was rather underwhelming. I had been pretty nervous to go in. I had prepped myself thinking that there might be a chance that I would die, and then I only ended up fighting one zombie and that was it. This was my first time thinking that maybe my fear of Minecraft might not be as reasonable as I thought it was. I decided to come back another day to turn this into an XP farm once I need it. Chapter 3: Caving. After already facing a bit of my fears in the spawner, I decided to go caving. While exploring, I had found an Arzelia tree, which is why I decided to start my mining experience from there. Caves have always been so scary for me, so starting in a pretty cave that had some glowberries illuminating the darkness sounded much better than to jump down into the hole in front of my house.
Oh, okay, guys, I think I'm there. Wow, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Then can craft a chest and a bed. Then I can set a respawn point. Put all of this in here because I don't really need it, I guess. Oh, I'm scared to drop down because then I won't be able to get back up.
Once I was in, my strategy was to first light everything up and then start mining.
Ah, there's a carpet. Okay, that's why I couldn't. I'm gonna make a little door just so I'll know I'll be safe. But I haven't actually heard any mobs. Okay, probably because I'm on easy. Okay, I need to remind myself I'm on easy, girl. I'm literally playing this game on easy. Can't be that scary, right? Oh, but this is such a nice lush cave, kind of.
It worked pretty okay. There weren't too many mobs that I had to fight, but to be fair, I tried my best not to have to fight them, especially creepers. I don't know why, but I just can't kill creepers. There was this one incident though, where I almost got a heart attack.
Running away with my diamonds, you little. There's more diamonds. Oh, so. You can. What? What the f?
I didn't know zombies could climb ladders, and after that incident, I was even more on the lookout, especially since my pulse was probably at 200 anyway.
So paranoid. More diamonds? Gotta be kidding me. Is it normal that there's so many diamonds? All the time I didn't go to caves, I missed out on so many diamonds. Oh, there's two. Stop it! You guys go kill each other while I can eat some bread. Okay, I'm done. Ah, there's a skeleton spawner. Why is there no chests? Oh, there's another one? Are you kidding me? Oh, I'll take the bread, I'll take the string, take the letter. Guess I'll take the food. That is actually crazy.
But overall, I consider this trip to be successful. I gathered enough diamonds so I could craft myself a chest plate and some tools. And when I got back home, I worked on the interior design of my base. Chapter 4, Gearing Up. I was getting to a point where I wasn't really able anymore to defend that I hadn't been to the Nether yet. But the thing is that as a peaceful player, I rarely visited the Nether. Without blazes spawning, there's not really a need to go in. And if there are no mobs, getting netherite armor is also something that feels like a lot of work for just a little benefit. But this time it would be different. For that, I needed a plan though, which was getting full diamond armor and maybe even enchanting it. So I put my mind to one thing. First, enchanting my diamond pickaxe so that I would have Fortune 3 on it, so that the mining progress would be a lot faster. But for enchanting, I need lots of leather, lots of sugarcane, and lots of XP, all things that I didn't have. Which is why I started off by building a little farming area and planting my first crops. While I waited for them to grow, I made my way over to the zombie spawner because it would turn into my solution for my XP problem. I had attempted to build mob farms in the past, however they hadn't been too successful before. Now with the spawner, I felt like I was at an advantage, but still it didn't change the fact that I had never built one before. Though that shouldn't be a problem because that's what tutorials are for, right? Wrong. I hate following instructions, so I kind of just decided to freestyle it. And even though the design was a little bit ugly, one might say, it worked. Maybe not the most efficient XP farm, but I was still kind of proud of myself for creating it by myself. So my next days consisted of looking for sugarcane, planting sugarcane, growing my crops, breeding my cows and sheep, turning everything one by one into books and bookshelves, and gathering the obsidian for the enchantment table. While I waited for the sugarcane to keep growing, I already prepared the enchantment room and farmed some XP. After way too much time had passed, I could finally enchant my pickaxe. Getting Fortune 3 was a pain, however. Although I started off with Fortune 2, it took me way too many tries to get Fortune 3, and the fact that I had to wait for about 20 minutes each time to restore my XP wasn't helpful either. It took me a full real life day to get Fortune 3 on my pickaxe, and even then it was just Fortune 3 on it, nothing else. But at this point, I would have honestly taken anything. I also got a pretty good Silk Touch pickaxe out of it, and with both ready, I was ready to head back into the mines. I need to get better at fighting creepers, because it can't be that every time I see one, I turn around.
2 seconds later.
Where did you come from? I can't go back home after just, 3 diamonds. That's not the loot I signed up for. Where is it? Oof. Why does this always gotta be so nerve-wracking? It's gotta be somewhere here, no? I think it takes 3, right? Oh! Bro! When are you here? But be my guest. I wanna get the gunpowder and my arrows. And I'm about to get harassed by a zombie again. This time I gathered enough diamonds to get full diamond armor and even had some left afterwards. And from the whole XP farming, I got so much armor from the zombies that I decided to build an armor room to store it all away. Actually don't think I like the paintings anymore. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, nothing was stopping me from going into the Nether. Chapter 5. The Nether. I gathered all the obsidian from a small lava lake that I found in the cave and built the portal outside. I was really showing off my skills by building the portal wrong. But easy fix, and we're headed right into the Nether. My spawn was alright. I spawned in a crimson forest, which felt like one of the safer options of spawns, even though I'm scared to death by hoglins. But ghasts scare me even more, and I appeared to be safe from them here, apart from their noises. The only issue with my spawn was that I appeared to be pretty high up, and the area surrounding me was very small. So I built a small base into the wall, placed down my lodestone and connected it to my compass, and then I dug through the wall until I reached another end. From there on, I explored, and after not too long, I already sighted a fortress. Thank God, because I don't know if I could have taken traveling through the Nether for much longer. I placed down my second lodestone and built a little staircase to the fortress until this happened. You keep scaring me. You see that? You pushed me. I'm sorry. You annoyed me. Yeah, don't do that. I knew this would aggravate the zombie pigments, but I didn't think their range would be big enough to crawl up the stairs. So in a moment, I was already stressed out to a T. They obviously caught up with me. He found me. But the rest of the fortress experience was actually okay. I didn't have to fight any wither skeletons from up close, and overall there weren't too many mobs. Things only got heated again once I found the blazes. What happened? Blazes! Okay, I'm kinda happy to see them, even though I'm not. Let me bunker in real quick. Wait, can I not turn it into snowballs anymore? I don't think, can I place snow in the Nether? I can, okay. And with that, my first fight against blazes was ahead of me. Ah! No, 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 no. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Bro, they go away so quickly. Bro! I don't think I've killed a single one of them. How are people raw dogging these? And I'm on easy too, you know? How do people do this? No, 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 no. Like, actually, how do people do this in hardcore? Why do 5 spawn at the same time? Okay, I got this. Okay, I got this. No, you will not kill me. Okay, I'm about to die. But without a single death, I got everything I need and made my way back home. Chapter 6. Breathe. After the nether, I needed some time to breathe. It had been a really stressful couple of days in the nether, and I needed to do something fun and easy now to recover from it. So I went exploring. I had already played on this world for almost 100 days, but I hadn't really seen much of it. In fact, I had only seen a little bit of the spawn area where I had found the village and the area around my base. So I grabbed the ship and sailed off for new adventures. It didn't take too long until I found a shipwreck with a buried treasure map on it. It did, however, take long for me to enter the map. I was completely lost trying to figure out where north and south was, because to me it looked like the sun was just rising and setting in a straight line, until I remembered that I could easily check where I was facing when pressing F3. And then, once I finally found the axe on the map, it took me another 20 minutes to find the actual buried treasure. And yes, I know the 9-9 coordinate trick, but to be completely honest, I was so lost in my F3 menu that I couldn't figure out which ones were the chunk coordinates. The loot was okay, I guess. But what happened after the treasure map is what probably is my personal highlight of the whole playthrough. As I was exploring more and following the flowers in hopes of finding a cherry grove, something pink caught my attention from the corner of my eye. And I couldn't believe it at first, but I actually found a pink sheep. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything with me to bring it along, but don't worry, I came back for it. Not much later, I found my cherry grove, so I gathered some saplings and petals, and on my way home from the exploration, I actually encountered my second highlight of this playthrough. I found a mushroom island. In my 13 years of playing this game, this is the first time I have ever found a mushroom island, and trust me, I have looked. Coming from someone that is so scared of mobs, finding this biome where none of them can spawn felt like finding heaven. But yes, with this my exploration came to an end, and when I was home I felt super motivated to transform my whole base. So I got straight to work. The changes that were made were: 1. I added a little lush cave in my cellar. 2. Afterwards I finally made a nicer entrance area for downstairs. 3. With the new entrance area, my farm had to move away, so I moved it to the side and tried out a build in which the farm has several levels. Right in front of the entrance, where the farm used to be, I built a little garden instead, also extending the platform a little bit so I would have more room. 4. Then I basically rebuilt the entire zombie farm, on one side to make it look better, and on the other side to make it more efficient. 5. I upgraded my pits for my cows and sheep and also added a new one for pigs. And 6, the last thing I did was getting some villagers and building them little houses. I focused on getting a mending villager and a Fletcher villager so that I could cheaply get emeralds. And it was really with that task that my breathing chapter had come to an end. Chapter 7, Preparation for the End. I had come to another moment in which I knew my next logical step would be to hunt down Endermen and get at least 12 Ender Pearls to create all the eyes of Ender I needed to go to the end. But there was something inside of me that wanted to postpone this as far as possible. I know it sounds rather stupid, but after playing for so many years without finishing the game, I kind of found comfort in that. And I just didn't feel quite ready yet to step out of my comfort zone. And also, with this being my first end fight, I wanted to be extra prepared. And with that, I mean also extra protected. I decided that I needed full netherite armor. And with that, I went back to the nether in hopes of fighting a bastion. However, I did forget one thing, that I am me and I hate the nether, and that every tiny little thing in the nether scares me. So while in my head I did see myself just walking up to a bastion and getting the template, my trip actually went like this. Uh-oh. I hate the nether. I hate it so much. Stop it! I go back to my base, but I'm not giving up on the nether quite yet. I will do a tunnel like I did the first one, but I'll do it to the other side. I gotta be more careful. Stop. My poles. After that, I just needed a break for a day before I could find the nerve to return to the game. And I did something I'm usually against. I went on Chunkbase and looked up the coordinates of the nearest bastion. For me, playing Minecraft is all about fun, and using Chunkbase usually takes away from the fun for me. However, in this case, it was the only way for me to keep the fun of playing this game. And I think the universe was telling me that it was time for me to prepare for the end fight, because the place I ended up was actually right next to a warped forest. I took it as a sign and decided to kill some endermen while I'm here. After about an hour, I had all ender pearls I needed. The rest of the preparation also went by pretty fast. I decided to create strength and feather falling potions, so I also had to go back to the fortress to grab some nether wart. Then I had to wait for phantoms to spawn, and I usually don't let it get this far, because if there's a chance for me to skip the nights, I obviously take it. And I was really scared because for some reason I thought that 10 phantoms would spawn at the same time and attack me from all sides. So I was pleasantly surprised when only one spawned in that I could easily kill, and also immediately dropped its membrane. And before I knew it, my inventory was set for going on the adventure. Chapter 8: The Stronghold. I started my adventure optimistic. I had 16 Eyes of Ender, which should be more than enough. Everything was going according to plan. I even had leather boots with me when I entered snowy mountains, so I wouldn't sink into powdered snow. It was all good until I was left with only 11 Eyes of Ender. I lost 2 because through all the trees I couldn't see where they went. And even worse, I couldn't see where they landed as they immediately sunk into the snow. And then 3 others just broke. I was still feeling optimistic though, as I knew most of the time 11 Eyes of Ender were still enough. Walking through the stronghold was actually more confusing than scary, even though I had my torches with me and therefore managed to see where I had already been. It took me about 20 minutes to find the actual portal room. And then it came with 0 Eyes of Ender. Are you kidding me?
I just can't be unlucky enough to get a portal with no eyes in there.
This is like actually so not funny. After a small mental breakdown, I realized that I had no other choice but to walk back all the way home. So I did it and returned with another Airbender. And now I could finally enter the portal. Save space. Okay. Are we gonna do this? I have a bow arrow. Yes. No. I spawned quite far away from the platform, so I first had to bridge over. But as the dragon was already charging at me, I changed my strategy to using one of my ender pearls to get to the island. Now the fight could begin. Too low? Perfect. My heart is beating. I can get that one. High enough. Okay, nice. No! Did I already take out all the end crystals? No. That hurt! Let me drink this real quick. Okay, I think I killed all the crystals. Oh my god, this is so much damage. I did it. I beat the game. This was my first ever playthrough, something that I never thought I would actually experience, and even though I'm still not the best Minecraft player, I think the countless times I missed while trying to hit the end crystals clearly proved that point, but at least I grew a lot from it. I forced myself not to give up and switch back to peaceful this time, and with that I created what feels like the first forever world I ever had in Minecraft. I'm excited to see what this world will bring in the future, and because as of right now I am already planning my new goal, which is collecting all the advancements. I know it will take me a long time as there are some advancements that are super hard and my skill level is clearly not there yet to take them on, but I'm looking forward to keep playing and to tick them off step by step. And if you want to join me on the journey, leave a follow so you don't miss anything.